Hey guys, so I'm coming back to you again because I actually have a very valid question. Something that I really need some clarity on that's like literally boggling my mind to the point of I'm just going to implode. Like I'm literally going to implode because I don't understand it. So I'm driving around in my car and I'm just thinking to myself, how in the hell did black people get into this situation that we're currently in? How did it happen? Like I don't understand it. I look at white supremacy and then the whole race of European and white people as a whole. And when I look at their history, the present currently what's going on, what I see is a pathology that is very demonic. And that's just really what it is. I see a pathology that is very demonic. I'm going to try to put this video in the nicest way that I possibly can. I'm going to try to be as nice as I possibly can when I give this message, but it's going to be very hard for me to. The stuff that I say is not going to be nice, but it will be true. And so for all of you white people, because I get a lot of comments by white supremacists that want to call me names and I want to say I'm racist for stating out facts, what I need you to do is get into the comments, since you're going to troll anyway, get into the comments and tell me how stating facts is being racist. And then when you tell me that, also let me know, what institution of power do I have that would allow me to oppress you? Because I can be bigoted and I can be prejudiced, but racism is a complete separate beast in itself. So if you come on to this video and you call me racist and not give me at least 3 examples of how I'm being racist, and then name at least 2 institutions of power that I have that allows me to oppress the white community, I'm not even gonna read your entire comment if I don't see what I want on there, because I don't really need to read the entire thing to see whether or not you're just giving me some racist stupidity or you're telling me what I asked for. Because I'm open to your opinion if you're actually going to give me some valid facts. I'm open to that. But if you're just going to come spew your stupidity and ignorance and you just want to troll, then I'm just going to block you and delete your comment. So I'm going to try to say this video in the nicest way that I possibly can. I do not mean, when I say these things about the white community, obviously, I'm not talking about all white people. No one needs to tell me that all white people are not bad. I already know all white people are not bad. If I was to hate white people, I would have to hate part of my DNA, because I do have a white great-grandmother, or I did before she died. So, no one needs to tell me that all white people are not bad. We all know this. However, I'm not going to overlook the majority of them that are demonic just because there is a small amount of them that are not. So, with that being said, I'm going to get started. When I talk about how the mentality of the black community contributes to white supremacy prevailing, what I forgot to mention, or what I did not mention in the last video, is there's this need for acceptance by the white community, by the black community. And I don't understand it. So I need someone to help me to understand, what is the appeal of white people to where you guys need their approval. And I know there's a lot of coons that troll my videos too. So for the coons specifically, what is it about the white community that strikes you so much as appealing that you just need to get their acceptance? I don't understand it. When I was thinking about our history and even the civil rights movements and integration, it appears that the whole thing with the integration was to get a group of people that never will accept us to accept us. It's not going to happen. Like, I don't understand it. I need to know. And it's because this is nothing that I ever dealt with. I've never in my entire life wanted to gain the acceptance of the white community. I never did. And I still don't. And the more that I learn about the history, the fact that they've never attained anything by being nice and kind. They've only obtained what they have by oppressing, pillaging, murdering, raping, torturing, and oppressing literally every living organism on the planet. These are facts. So if someone thinks this is not a fact, please feel free to name me one group of people who have done the same thing as white people for the amount of time, because they're still doing it. So that's really interesting to me. It's almost like the majority of people in the black community cannot see reality. I'm deeply confused as to how a group of people that burns in the sun, gets skin cancer, can barely procreate the way normal people can. And if this wasn't a fact, then there wouldn't be multiple articles out talking about how the white population is completely shrinking, specifically in Europe, because they have a very low fertility rate. So they cannot even procreate the way that you can. They share DNA with a rhesus monkey. Facts, again, look it up if you disagree. They have bugs growing in their head. Okay? If they take a shower or get wet, they're going to smell like a wet dog. What is appealing about that? And I'm not the only one who's ever came up with that. Again, stating facts, you can do the research yourself. The DNA, there was a scientist that said white people, Europeans, share 70% of their DNA with Neanderthals that evolved from monkeys. They literally have one of the same DNA traits as a rhesus monkey. It is an RH gene. It is the same thing as with a rhesus monkey, okay? These are facts. And for some reason, when you state facts that doesn't put white people in a positive light, then all of a sudden you're racist. But yeah, they can pathologize the whole black community. They can call the entire black community criminals, despite the fact that if you look at the FBI crime statistics, it actually shows them as criminals. They can demonize the Muslim population, despite the fact that in America, we're at more of a risk of a white man shooting up a school than we are of an ISIS attack. But they can demonize them, but for some reason, they just can't pathologize their entire group. When you bring up historical facts, what do they tell you? Oh, those were the Germans and those were the French. They're white people. They're Europeans. How do you think America was established? So let's just go on some history really quickly. The Europeans migrated to America, raped and pillaged people, and then stole it. So the bottom line is Europeans and the Germans and the French are the exact same as the American white people. They're one of the same. So I don't really care anything about you guys sitting here saying, oh, that was the Germans, trying to put it off on the Germans. It was the white people, okay? And if you look at history, these are historical facts. The facts are your group of people, white people, have not obtained anything without murdering mass groups of people. So what I'm confused about, black people, is why do you want acceptance from these people? Why do you want to be intermingled with these people? I don't understand it. Even with integration and the civil rights movement, it was basically to force white people to take your money. I don't understand that, because that's basically what's happening now. Black people without black people, America would not be what it is. It would not be the strongest country, okay? If all black people decided, okay, we're not contributing anything to America anymore, America would crash. Because you know what? The two of the most profitable genres black people dominate. That's called sports and music. There's no possible way sports will be as profitable as it is. Basketball, football, none of them will be as profitable as they are, because really basketball and football are the two biggest ones. They're the most popular. Less people care about soccer and baseball, which is actually predominantly white. Less people care about those. However, football and basketball that are predominantly black, it would not survive without black people. They just wouldn't survive, because it's been that way before. You have the Negro League, and then you have the White League, and then white people weren't winning because they were going up against the Negro League. So therefore, it was to their benefit to have you integrated in it. And now all you have is a bunch of old white slave masters benefiting off of their very expensive slaves, which is the black men. But the black men better not come out and make a political statement. They better not speak up for their group of people. And you know why? It's because you have these black people that still have in their mind that they need to get a pat on the head by the white community. And I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, because if you think that the white community doesn't know how valuable you are and how they couldn't have what they have without you, then you're sick in the head. We just all need to admit that the black community has a very serious mental disorder, and that's called wanting to be accepted by a group of people that historically and presently does not like me. They're not accepting me. What is it that we're not getting as a community. What is it that we're not getting? Because even if we can think about, oh, we're integrated, well, not really, because you still have the black areas that's the ghetto that's been starved economically, and you still have the white areas that are flourishing and prosperous. So my thing of it is how is it that the integration was even beneficial? How is it even beneficial to black people? It wasn't. But even then, we had a group of black people fighting to get white people to take their money. I don't know if you guys heard of this situation, but was very disgusting to me, and it illustrated the depths of the sickness in the black community. There was a basketball player who had just signed a $43 million contract. He went into a store to try and buy a Rolex. So what they did is they called the police on him, talking about they thought he was going to rob the place, called the police, wouldn't open the door until the police showed up. The police showed up, and then this stupid idiot actually went into that store, despite the fact that the store owners would not even sell him the Rolex watch without the cops being there to escort him in there, and this idiot bought it. He put his money into a place that clearly just showed him how much they actually don't like you. They don't even want your money at this point, but you want a Rolex so bad. You want to buy something from the white community so bad that you're going to allow them to degrade you. Also, that you can purchase a watch that you really don't even need. That's really going to depreciate in value. Because every Rolex watch isn't going to have a lot of value just because it's a piece of jewelry. It will depreciate in value, but just because you could have went and bought the Rolex from someone else. Go find some Indians, go find some Asians, give it to anybody except the person that literally just degraded you. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of black people are willing to be degraded just to get the acceptance of white people. And just because those white people might be writing you a $40 million check or a $100 million check does not mean they're not degrading you. Because when you have situations like Tamir Rice and Michael Brown and the countless other black men that have been shot and killed, and your black celebrities that are rich can't even speak one word about it, that shows mental slavery. That shows that you really care more about the acceptance of that group of people, the very same group of people that's killing your people, starving your communities. You care more about approval from that person than actually speaking out against their injustices. I don't understand it, and I need to know it. If somebody answer a coon, if somebody can really just tell me, what is it? What is the appeal? Because I don't get it. And maybe that's just for me. I didn't grow up being taught that we need to value white people or please or appease white. I didn't grow up like that. That's not what I grew up learning. And even if I did grow up learning, I can look at reality. I can take a look around me. How many black people white people try to tell you that situations that you know are about race are not about race? There are very few white people that's actually advocating for the black community. So if you look at it, the majority of them, even if they're saying nothing at all and remaining neutral, the majority of them is complicit in your community being killed, economically starved, and oppressed. You guys want to sit up here and lay up with white people and think that you have one up because someone chose you, but at the end of the day, find me one that's willing to give up their white privilege so you won't be oppressed. I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that a group of people who have historically benefited my oppression somehow has my best interest at heart because they'll lay up with me and have sex with me, because they'll date me and call me their girlfriend, because they'll marry me and call me their wife. Meanwhile, they can still look on at my community and see what's going on with my community. They can see how the men in my community are being killed for no reason, and they'll say nothing about it, and they'll be complicit in it. So all of you black men who think you're going to go get a better ride with a white woman or the black women, although I really do believe black women coon far less than black men. And whoever thinks differently, then you're not paying attention to reality. Because the bottom line of it is, black women are not a threat to white men. Black men are. So therefore, they would definitely have to mind screw black men way more than they have to mind screw black women. And that's what's happened. And I think it's disgusting. We both do it, men and women. But the bottom line of it is, you can best believe the people who hate black people the most at this point are black people. And until you stop vying for the acceptance of a group of people that's never going to accept you, then you won't find your value. And no one's going to value you. No one will. because you don't value yourselves. So that's what we really need to stop doing. We need to stop looking for acceptance where we're not going to get it. The main problem within the Black community is low self-esteem. It is low self-esteem and Stockholm syndrome, because for some reason, not only do we have to defend our oppressor, but then we have to keep striving for their acceptance when we're never going to get it. Stop expecting a group of people that benefits 100% from your oppression to save you. Because if they were going to save you, they wouldn't put you in the captivity and the oppression to begin with. So if we really want to get out of the situation that we're in right now, then what we'll start doing is that, like I said in that last video, value your community and people that look like you over a community of people who that do not look like you, that do not care about your group. Even if they did care about your group of people, they're not going to care about it over theirs. They're not going to value you over their community, and they show it all the time, no matter who you're dating or who you're married to that's in the white community. Nothing is changing in your community, and that should tell you something. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's my rant. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated. I don't understand it. I'm confused. I don't get what it is about the white community that is so appealing to Black people. But that is our downfall, and I feel like that's one of the things that has always been our downfall and what's keeping us in this oppressive state that we're in. Please learn to love yourselves. That's all I can say, because you really don't have that much time to be wallowing in self-hate, because right now the Black community is drowning, and we're drowning because the community doesn't care about itself to have that loyalty to your own group. They have loyalty to their group, and I'm not saying it's wrong that they have loyalty to their group. They should, but what's wrong is that you guys and in the community, we're more dedicated to a group of people that don't care about us than we are to the group of people that actually do care about us, which is ourselves. That's just really what it is. But like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. I'm gonna go spend some time to myself doing whatever, because I had to get my head right. But like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video.